Humane manufacturing mats reduce bedding costs. They cushion animals' joints and muscles. Mats will not absorb moisture and animal fluids. You know, all of our recycled rubber mats and rubber floor products are made using only the best of the best, clean, green, and recycled. Antibacterial and antifungal agents are added during the manufacturing process, guaranteed not to curl or buckle as you see here. Rubber mats use the Lock Tough system. Use Humane manufacturing stall mats for all of your needs. Well, welcome to our December report, our World of Equine News report here on Speaking of Horses. I'm your host, Wayne Williams, and we're glad to have you join us for this December report. We're going to start right off with a story about movies and wild horses. You know, producer Mara LeGrand has just finished a new movie on wild horses. Now, it's looking for a PBS air date now. The movie title is Wild Horses in Winds of Change. The wild horse issue is a very divided one in the USA, and we want only to show you this point of view. Watch the movie's promos here and see if it doesn't at least make you think about the issue. Let's watch.
How could they be other than legend? Stories told from deep within the mind of Earth. Myth made flesh. Here is the wind and thunder, the soul of wildness, life force hurled from the quiet heart of time. Wild horses, nature at her most eloquent. They speak of our most cherished longing. They speak of freedom. Just to know they are in our world is to know that in this ever more confining age, we too can be free.
A wild horse is a horse that roams freely around its own home territory within a social hierarchy, adapting to its environment over time. They represent freedom, and that's a desire we all have, to go where we want to go and be what we want to be. America's Mustangs are that kind of horse.
When you see a creature that can adapt better than humans, that can make use of its habitat and can still reproduce and still be wild and free, it tugs on us. We're not that wild and free.
I think that in order to have a truly biodiverse society, we need to have everything. And two things you look at, the biodiversity of the environment and the health of the plants and the health of everything within that environment, and that's what makes a healthy society. It's told to me that the horses have always existed in our country. I think when you're looking at the wisdom of wild horses, you just have to look at their ability to adapt to their environments.
Wild horses are extremely adaptable, and I think they offer a model for us that we can use in other species that show us what their cooperation strategy is, what their social bonding strategy is, how do they adapt.
They call them Mila Hanska, long knives.
It's told to me that the horses have always existed in our country.
America's wild horses are accused of being feral, non-native, and an invasive species, even though running nomadically on this land is what they've done forever.
One reason that they were able to survive over long periods of time because they adapted to the human conqueror, and the human conquered them, so to speak. Horses, generally in every culture, are connected to the soul of all people, because almost every culture either used a burro or a horse in its civilization. So I believe that there is a deep connectedness between humankind and between horses.
Well, the National Finals Rodeo comes to Las Vegas, Nevada, December 7th to the 15th, 2012. The best of the PRCA rodeo cowboys and their circuits gather for the mega blowout finals in Las Vegas. Along with the nightly rodeo action at Thomas Mack Arena, there are 5 different holiday shopping megamarts around Las Vegas to visit every day and shop, as well as a few of those one-armed bandits. Now, we at Speaking of Horses TV will have highlight coverage from the 5th annual Wrangler Gold Buckle Gala honoring legends of rodeo. This event is held December 3rd at the Gold Rush, and we'll be there filming highlights to be aired in January. Keep watching for that on Speaking of Horses. Well, we'll be right back with a lot more equine news. Speaking of Horses is made possible by Equessentials Horse Care Products, for products developed by a horse person, for horse people, and horse use. Please check out Equessentials Horse Products. They have all the products you need to perfectly care for your horse's coat and physical appearance and well-being. Equessentials. You know, there's a large movement across the country for wounded warriors, as we help returning veterans recover from wounds both mental and physical. Now, one such group is the All Glory Project, and a major supporter, Elizabeth Shatner, is working to keep this and other similar projects first in our hearts. Speaking of Horses TV was in Richmond, Virginia, in November at the Virginia Equine Extravaganza, and we had a chance to talk at length with one of the medical professionals about the help that's needed and the help that's being provided and using horses in this actual rehabilitation. Now, we filmed this interview while we're in the All Glory Project booth. Let's watch about the returning veterans and what's being done to help them. Well, we're here at the Virginia Equine Extravaganza, and we're here with Speaking of Horses, but we're here at a very special part of this extravaganza, which is the All Glory Project. Elizabeth Shatner is here, and a lot of the things are happening all surrounding the All Glory Project and helping do the therapy for the veterans. Anita, say your last name again?
Skady. Anita Skady.
Anita Skady. I knew I would get it wrong. Is joining me, and you are a well-known author on brain disorders and brain traumas. So tell us a little bit about your background and about the book.
Okay, well, I started, my background is originally from nursing. I did every type of nursing that was possible, even delivering babies. And then I went on to study at University of Preventive Medicine, and then did a master's in education, and now I'm just finishing my doctorate in education, but it's connected to horses this time. So this is the background, and I've been working in Israel for 27 years in therapeutic riding, which is my passion. And during that time, I've worked for 27 years with veterans. So I feel I have a vast experience in this field. And 3 years ago, I decided to write a book about traumatic brain injury because I've worked with so many soldiers. It's mainly veterans who've come back with traumatic brain injury. And now I'm spending a lot of time working with the post-trauma and the PTSD, which unfortunately is the main disability that soldiers are returning from the battlefield with. So I think this is very important, and I've had recently veterans come from the States to our center and to learn how to ride with us from the States. And, I feel, that we're very connected, so this is what we're doing.
Well, we are here at the Virginia Equine Extravaganza. You're going to hear a little noise in the background. We have another clinic starting, but this project with the All Glory Project and bringing the veterans in, using the same equine therapy you have been using for years with children and adults that have the brain problems. These veterans are coming back with the very same problems, only created by a different reason.
Yeah, they're coming back with a very, very serious problem. And I would just like to say in this interview that, when people first come back, everybody's around these veterans, but later on, their lives can become very lonely. So that to connect them to a horse farm and connect them to equine projects is a way of helping them find friends again, especially in the horse. The horse is an amazing, amazing friend and partner and gives unconditional love, which a lot of these guys and girls will need. So it's something that I think All Glory is doing a great job, and I hope that it's going to expand.
Well, I think it is going to expand. I think more and more people are going to realize the need for this, and that we owe this to our veterans to help them, recover after they've served.
Yeah, when a person comes back from the war zone and with their traumatic brain injury or PTSD, they find that they're not the same person as they were before. And it's not just they find it, the families find it, friends, children, everybody around them has to get used to this different person. Now, when we bring them to the horse, they arrive and they're not, for a physical disability, they're not able to walk properly or move properly. And when we sit them on top of the horse, because the horse's physical movement is almost identical to ours, we're able to help them learn, in many cases, to walk again and to change. Now, we're also able to help them. As this happens, we can motivate the person, and we find that we change their self-esteem and they become really empowered. And if you've got to spend the rest of your life in a wheelchair, this is a very, very serious thing to make you feel that it's worth living. You need to feel empowered. And this comes from just sitting or being with a horse. People don't realize the power of the horse, and they don't realize that like one ride a week will do all that to a person.
Well, I'll tell you, I have worked with some therapeutic riding groups, and I volunteered with some, and the beautiful part is you need only watch, whether it's a child, an adult, or whatever. When they're on that live horse, when they're with that horse, the communication, the spirit is totally different.
Yes, it's totally different, and I write about it in my book that I believe it's a mind, body and soul experience. I don't think you can disconnect the three, and everything that happens to you it motivates you to do things. You find that you can do things away from the horse. The word is transferable skills. You learn again that you can negotiate with life again, and you can take this away and try things that you didn't believe in. In my years of working with traumatic brain injury, many of the young men who I worked with and felt that life was going to be just in their house and in the wheelchair, after they started riding, they found that they could travel and that they could learn again. And they found that they got in cars, and their whole life was opened up.
Well, what's your book again now, Anita?
My book is Traumatic Brain Injury and Therapeutic Riding.
I wanted to get the name in there, and I also want you to tell me and tell the people watching how they contact you about getting the book.
Okay, there's two from the States that you can either contact me directly, which is through an email, which is anitashkady@gmail.com, or you can contact Freedom Rider, which is, I think, in Florida, or through Amazon Books. There's three ways, I think, in Facebook. And in
Facebook, yeah. Well, let me tell you, if you are a veteran, if you're around veterans, if you have any connection with veterans, or if you're just somebody that wants to help with the veterans who are returning with these issues, your book has been highly recommended and highly sought after. You're truly an expert in your field, and I would ask everybody to please get a hold of Anita, go find the book, and learn more, because it all fits in with the All Glory Project.
Thank you. And if anybody wants to contact me, for advice or just to talk about people they're working with, I'm delighted, and I'm anytime. I'm on the email. You can I'm sure you just put Anita Chikedi on the internet and you'll find me. So thank you. And don't forget, all these veterans coming home now, they need you. They need to be made feel welcome, and you can do this with the horse.
Anita, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Just part of the All Glory Project right here at the Virginia Equine Extravaganza this weekend. Well, we'll be right back. We got much more. Stay with us. Woodstar Products offers custom stalls for every barn and every barn style. Woodstar offers top quality design, construction, and customer service for every stall and barn need you can come up with. Custom built for you. Design your own stall with their new system online at woodstarproducts.com. Check them out. That's Woodstar Products. We at Speaking of Horses promote all horse breeds and disciplines, as we believe that all horses are good and all horses have their skill sets, just like people. Now here's an interview with Terry Green from the Palomino Horse Breeders Association while we visited at the Quarter Horse Congress last October. Watch. Well, we're still right here at the All-American Quarter Horse Congress, and we've been talking to a lot of different breeds and disciplines that are involved in the Congress, because everything they do showing-wise, and especially horse breed-wise, they kind of dovetail together. And that's the case here, that we are in the booth for the Palomino Breeders, Horse Breeders of America.
Yes.
And I'm sitting here next to the general manager, and from Tulsa.
From Tulsa.
Scully Drive, is that right? Scully Drive?
Yep.
I have been a member. I should remember that. Yep. But, you've had a booth here for the entire Congress, and we're sort of getting toward the end of it now. But give us a little brief history, if you would, on the history of the Palomino Horse Breeders Association, and then a little bit on the dovetailing into AQHA.
Okay. Well, we started in 1943 in Mineral Wells, Texas, to just kind of promote the Palomino horse, the breeding of the Palomino horse, and to continue the purity of that bloodline. We register about 90% of our horses are quarter horses, and therefore that's how we kind of dovetail in with AQHA. And since most of the horses here at the Congress are quarter horses, it's just a great place for us to promote our breed.
Now, as it is with, say, buckskin, buckskin is a color breed as well as Palomino is a color breed. So the vast majority are quarter horses.
Yes, that's correct. But we also register horses that are solid bred paint horses, solid Appaloosa horses, as well as Arabian horses and so on.
But you still have your state or regional affiliates.
Mm-hmm, we do.
I used to be a member of the Wisconsin group. We have those. You have those affiliates, and you have your own world show. So you completely do your own thing as Palomino as well.
That's correct. We offer a wide variety of places for people to participate with their Palomino horse.
And you're moving the world show this next year.
We are. We're moving our world show from Tulsa, Oklahoma, where it's been for about 30 years, to Tunica, Mississippi.
It's a nice facility in Tunica. If you want to go see the horses, see the Palominos, and maybe hit a casino too.
That's true. There are lots of casinos. Yeah.
Well, since you've got a golden horse, you want to go pick up a few golden coins at the same time, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Well, it's a great organization. I have been a member. I have shown a little bit. Not that I was a big... I'm not trying to fool anybody here. I played around the parade class and that stuff, but really enjoyed it. It's a great organization, and encourage everybody, if you've got a yellow horse, if you've got a Palomino, it doesn't matter if it's quarter horse. It can be other breeds as long as it meets the criteria for being a Palomino. You can still register the horse. So do so, and have a good time with your horses.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now that's phba.com.
It's palominohba.com.
palominohba.com. palominohba.com. Check them out. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Stay with us. We got more highlights coming right here We're in Columbus, Ohio, on Speaking of Horses at the All-American Quarter Horse Congress. You know, Speaking of Horses TV is involved in many various horse fairs and expos across North America each year. Some are quite large, some are smaller, yet we believe that you don't have to be large to be good. Our current schedule is on our website at www.speakingofhorses.com for all of the horse expos and fairs we'll be at in 2013. Now here is a short promo for the Minnesota Equifest, held each October in Minneapolis. We do attend this expo every year. Watch this promo. You know, one of the things that we like to do on Speaking of Horses is take a moment and look at new and exciting products and present them to you. Now, here's one such product. It's called the Stable Butler. It helps you cut shavings cost in half, and it's quick and easy to use. Watch this new innovative product feature right here. Let's watch it. It's a new product from Speaking of Horses. We are here on Speaking of Horses to introduce you to the Stall Butler. It's a wonderful product to help you do your stall chores, muck those stalls a much easier way. John Myers is with me, and John is a developer of this. And tell us a little bit, John, about how you developed and why you developed the Stall Butler.
I basically started riding horses after I turned 50. Ended up finding out I had a sore back and found out it was coming from the shaking of the fork. So that's where I started thinking. At 5 o'clock in the morning, you got a lot to think about. So I built one style machine, didn't like it, and kept developing until this is the third generation. Came up with this machine.
Now, this unit is electric, but it's battery-powered electric, and you run all these stalls. You go in, you can do the stalls. You don't have to worry about moving a cord around. You do each stall. You get your shavings prepared and the manure separated all with the battery power, and then you plug it in at night and recharge it.
Correct. I kind of call it the cell phone use. Unplug it in the morning, use what you got to do, and then plug it back in at the end of the day, and it's ready to go.
Now, you have the black one that we're looking at here, which we're going to show you operate in a bit, has a certain mesh of wire on here to let shavings through. You also have one that's finer, correct?
Yes. Started out with a small one that does a lot of the fine sawdust. A lot of people do the shavings, and they wanted something that would do the shavings, but still not a lot of manure through. So this one was basically developed to do a malt ball, and once I found out it does the malt ball size, which a fork will pick, it still does 90% of the milk duds, which a fork will not pick any of those.
Well, what you can do here with this, and we're going to show it to you here, is operate in the stall, putting your manure in along with your shavings, taking the manure out, and then letting the shavings fall through, and then all you will do is spread them around after that. And it really reduces by 50% your labor involved in working in a stall. It also cuts your shavings cost by about 50%, right?
Yes, especially if you're mediocre or didn't have your coffee in the morning, want to just get done, you're going to save even more than 50%.
All right, so what we're going to do now, John, is we're going to back up, get the camera set, and we're going to let you demonstrate this machine operating for us. So watch this. And as you can see here, the manure goes into the tub and the clean shavings come out at the bottom. And then when you're done, you just easily remove the stall butler from the stall, the bucket, and respread your cleaned shavings. One of the nice features of the stall butler is it has an automatic stop. If somebody comes up to the machine while it's running and they get their hand in it or around it, it will automatically stop, just as we're going to show you here. We're going to have the machine running, and now somebody comes up and gets a hand in it or around, it stops so that there is no danger of getting caught and doing bodily damage. It stops automatically because the motor is geared to stop and wait when anything comes in contact with it. So it's a very safe piece of equipment to operate. And once you're done and you've moved the machine from the way, your stall butler is out of the way in the stall, you just start to spread out your shavings, all the manure removed, and that is exactly what you have left. Nice, clean, fluffy, dry shavings, cutting your shavings use by over 50% by using the stall butler. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Woodstar Products offers custom stalls for every barn and every barn style. Woodstar offers top quality design, construction, and customer service for every stall and barn need you can come up with. Custom built for you. Design your own stall with their new system online at woodstarproducts.com. Check them out. That's Woodstar Products. You know, we want to wish everyone a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas. Please remember to enjoy the holiday season with family and good friends. These are the only true things that go with the holiday season, and its values are immeasurable. Regardless of your religion, it is truly a time to count your blessings and be thankful. We'll see you in January of a new year, 2013, with our World of Equine News report coming next month.